Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Master Magnum M175XDLF, which is their high security padlock. You may have heard that some of the other older locks in this line are susceptible to a bypass because of the latch design. That's not the case with this one, so I'm going to open it up real quick to demonstrate that. So you can see in this particular lock that we have a pretty good positive latching design. In order for this lock to operate, you have to rotate the wheels, and this is convenient that there's a one of the tumblers is lined up there. You can see that there's a little notch here in the wheel right beside one of the numbers. So each one of those has to line up with these teeth in the bolt in order for that to move. Once those are all lined up, tugging on the latch will force it down into those grooves and the lock can open. When it's locked, this can't move. And you see there's actually a little bit of play in there, so you might be able to force it, but what I actually want to show you is a different vulnerability, well, information leakage that this lock is susceptible to. It's pretty common in these kind of wheel locks for you to be able to access where that notch is from the front of the lock with a thin strip of metal and actually decode what the combination is. So let me quickly put this back together without dropping all pieces. I'm going to show you how to decode it. This lock, by the way, has the outer casing, which is made from hardened steel. That's been removed. It was pretty challenging to get it off. I cut it off with a Dremel. Ended up ruining a couple of bits. I have a diamond tipped blade now, so maybe next time it won't be as hard. So okay, right now it's locked. I don't really know what the combination is, but what I'm going to do is, I know that next to each of these wheels is the actual combination wheel now. So what I have, this is actually a piece of a soda can. Is there anything they can't do? From shimming padlocks to decoding these. Now there is a tool, a little Sparrow decoder that you can get. I don't have one. I do have a handcuff shim that's about the same thickness, and the tolerances on here are really tight. I mean, this is actually a pretty well made padlock for what it is. I think it costs 15 bucks. So my little padlock shim is actually too thick to comfortably get in there, but this works just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start rotating this dial around until I feel it sink in. Oops, this is one of those where you can only rotate it in one direction once you get to 9. So it's actually got the feature where if you you blindly spin the dial up, it'll line them all up to 0 at the top. So that means if I'm going to rotate through them all, I need to, oh, I just felt it. Did I feel it going? Is that it? Yeah. You can actually, if you can see, there's a, there we go. So now the feeler can, I can actually rotate that entire disc with the feeler in there. You actually see I'm rotating that. So my first number, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to align it on the center line here. This is not actually the combo line. The combo line's up here, but it's just a little bit easier for me to work in the middle. So my first number on the right hand side is 4. Alright, now keep in mind that's not the combination number, that's just where the gap in the wheel is. It's actually going to have to be on the other side of the mechanism to operate the lock, but once we know what they are, we can just rotate that combination around until it reaches it. Plus, once you know how far away it is from the actual combination, you can just move it yourself. So anyway, that's 4. Let's see what this one is. Trying to get this so you can see exactly what's going on. There we go, just fell into the hole. So my second number there, 9. Sometimes it'll get caught. There's a little, there we go, there it is. It's 5. This one. That one's easy. That one's 9 as well. So you can see on the one where it sank in. It's kind of nice that there's a little line there from the can itself so you can see where it goes in. That one is 9. Okay, so right now this lock still won't open. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly rotate these all in unison until it opens. So there's really only 9 possibilities for this combination at this point. So I'm just going to go rotate each one of these down. Is that it? Nope. 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 Aha. So that's my combination, 5150. And you can do a little bit of simple math and figure out that it's actually 4 digits below whatever one I decoded across the center line. Now one other thing I wanted to show, so this is the blind reset feature. The blind reset, you just keep forcing it up and you don't have to pay attention to it. It just automatically locks all the numbers at 0. I have a little probe I made myself. I kind of like the feel on this one for decoding these a little bit better. So the Coke can works fine. You can definitely feel what's going on. But this is actually the anti-theft strip from inside a DVD, and I just have it heat shrink tubing onto a different probe. I give myself a couple inches. What's nice about this is I can sort of rest it. I can rest it in that gap with a little bit of tension on it and just start spinning. You can kind of feel it fall in when it gets to the right spot. So depending on how tight these tolerances are between the wheel and the body, if you have trouble getting in a Coke can, this anti-theft strip is a little bit thinner and it's a little bit springier. I think it just depends on whether you can get the tool in there. But that's all there is to decoding this. There are ways that a manufacturer could make this more difficult by guarding those wheels, but most of these combination locks that you see are going to be decodable in a similar fashion. Thanks for watching.